Hope Logan is ready to move forward after leaving Forrester's creations, but she's not about to forget the people she believes pushed her out. At the same time, Will Spencer is carrying a grudge of his own, and his anger could spark even more trouble in the days ahead. The action picks up with Will dealing with the consequences of his confrontation with RJ Forrester. After tensions boiled over and turned physical, Will finds himself facing the company's leadership. Although RJ acted as though he had the authority to dismiss him, the final decision appears to rest with Ridge. Despite the fact that the altercation happened away from the company property and outside work hours, Ridge seems prepared to make an example out of Will. Once the decision is made, Will isn't expected to leave quietly. Instead, he issues a warning to RJ, making it clear that this feud is far from over. News of the incident quickly reaches Elektra, who is stunned by everything that has happened. Not only is she disappointed that Will lost control of the situation, but she's also forced to confront the impact his firing may have on their future together. Their plans have been moving forward, including discussions about living together, and now uncertainty is beginning to creep in. Meanwhile, Hope continues laying the foundation for her next chapter. After discussing the collapse of Hope for the future and everything that led to her departure from Forrester, she officially offers a position to Dicky. The opportunity allows her to return to fashion world, and she's thrilled by the prospect. Unsurprisingly, she eagerly accepts it. Elsewhere, Will Spencer wastes no time bringing Will into the growing Spencer-Logan operation. While Will and Katie are likely pleased that Will is no longer tied to Forrester Creations, they are also frustrated by the way they believe he was treated. From their perspective, Will was pushed aside over a personal dispute that should never have escalated into a company matter. As the week continues, Ridge attempts to repair the damage with Hope. He reaches out in hopes of finding common ground, but Hope's resentment remains strong. She feels abandoned by Brooke and believes her mother failed to fight for her when it mattered the most, rather than finding reconciliation. Ridge may leave the conversation with even more questions than answers. Meanwhile, Brooke could start directing her frustrations towards Steffi. With Hope gone and tensions continuing to rise, blame begins shifting among family members as everyone searches for someone responsible for the growing divide. Elektra also finds herself caught in the middle of an increasingly bitter rivalry between the Forresters and the Spencers. RJ is expected to make his case against Will, painting him as unstable and unsuitable for her. As pressure mounts from both sides, Elektra is left struggling to determine who she can trust. Business disagreements create another obstacles when Ridge and Steffi find themselves at odds. Hope's rejection of Ridge's peace offering may push him to encourage Steffi to take a different approach. If Hope can be persuaded to return, it could solve several problems at once, but convincing her won't be easy. At the same time, Dylan becomes an important source of support for Elektra. With family drama, romantic complication, and workplace tensions all colliding, she increasingly leans on his friendship. The more pressure she faces, the stronger that bond appears to become. Katie remains firmly in Will's corner throughout the ordeal. She sees his dismissal as another example of the Forrester family overlooking people they should value. Her loyalty eventually leads her straight to Forrester Creations, where she confronts Brooke over the situation. That confrontation escalates into a major showdown between the Logan sisters. Old wounds resurface as the both women exchange accusations and insults. The argument isn't limited to Will's firing either. It extends into business matters, family loyalty, and the future of their respective ventures. By the time the dust settles, the relationship between Brooke and Katie may be more damaged than ever. At the same time, Wyatt starts considering a larger role within the Spencer-Logan business. Bill would love to have both of his sons involved, helping build the company into a serious competitor. With Hope preparing for future launches, additional support could prove essential. Steffi also pays Hope a visit. And while the conversation may begin with good intentions, suspicion soon enters the picture. If Steffi was sent to smooth things over and encourage Hope's return, she may discover that Hope's plans are much more complicated than anyone realizes. Questions surrounding Hope's leave of absence only add to the misery. Another storyline to watch involves Shauna. As more details emerge, viewers may finally learn why Wyatt brought her back into the picture. The explanation given so far doesn't seem to tell the whole story, suggesting they may be hidden motives waiting to be revealed. Looking ahead to the following week, attention shifts to the growing Logan business. Viewers should learn whether Will and Wyatt officially join the operation and what roles they'll ultimately play. Behind the scenes, Donna struggles to keep Hope's activities under wraps, especially as more family members become involved. Dickie couldn't be happier about the new opportunities unfolding around him, and eventually Deacon will have to be brought into the loop. Since Dickie is preparing to leave his current position and join Hope's venture, keeping the secret forever simply isn't realistic. Questions also remain about how many people will be trusted with this information. Taylor may eventually find out, but whether she can keep such a major secret is another matter entirely. Meanwhile, Electra continues wrestling with difficult choices. Dylan remains supportive, while ongoing conflict between RJ and Will places her under even greater strain. The aftermath of Will's punch could cause her to rethink some important decisions about their future together. As for Will, he's not ready to let the situation go. His frustration with RJ continues to grow and revenge remains on his mind. Knowing that RJ still has access to Electra through work only makes matters worse. Unless circumstances change dramatically, Will may find himself watching from the sidelines while his rival stays close to the woman he cares about. Finally, Brooke makes another effort to convince Hope to return to Forrester's creations. Whether Hope is willing to listen remains uncertain. What does seem increasingly clear is that the conflict between Brooke and Katie may have reached a breaking point, leaving their relationship changed forever.